Guys, Ashley here, also known as Ashley Fan. Today I am back with another video. I'm trying to be more consistent with my videos on this channel, but today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. I'm going to be making videos on teen drama characters that deserve so much better than what the show did for them. And the first character that I want to talk about is Marissa Cooper. Marissa. And this character is from the OC. The OC is absolutely one of my favorite teen drama shows of all time. I absolutely love it, and it sucks how much of a dip the show took after season 3 during their peak of their show. But let's talk about Marissa. Marissa is a very interesting character because every time you bring her up, fans always have a lot to say about Marissa. And personally, I feel like I actually don't hate her character. I don't hate the character, I just hate the things that the writers have her do. And honestly, I kind of really love the fact that she was kind of like this girl next door, but she wasn't perfect. Like, she had a lot of insecurities, she had stuff for her family, she had all these expectations to be perfect, to have it all together. And I really love about Marissa. I really love the fact that the writers decided to give her like this self-destructive thing, because you would think like a girl like her, she comes from a good wealthy family, parents are still together, her dad's working really hard. You would think she would have it all together. You would think that she doesn't need people to have expectations for her because she has it all together. I always thought that was interesting to me. I just feel like the show constantly giving her self-destructive storylines is what really drove her character downhill quickly. And none of that proves until season 3. Now, season 1, she had her moments. I would say season 1, she had the moment where she took those pills and she overdosed and drinking a lot. I feel like here's some things that never really made sense to me about her character before we get into all that. I feel like the writers never addressed her mental state. I feel like she constantly used to she used to drink. I think she was an alcoholic, but they never really addressed it. Like, they never really came on and said, yeah, she's an alcoholic, she needs to go to rehab. I think that she did have substance abuse problems. I feel like the fact that Trey sexually assaulted her and she also shot a gun and she shot somebody, the fact that this never really, and she also saw somebody almost get raped. The fact that these things never, I hate to say, yes, the only, out of all these things, and Oliver, everything with Oliver, like, I feel like out of all these things, only a few of them had an impact on her character. Like, how can you not address her mental state, especially her mental state? Because I always felt like her mental state was something that the show did never address. Like, she was just not there mentally at all half the time, or at all. Like, all these things happened to her and the writers didn't really address it or try to get her any help, get her to go to therapy. And that's another reason to Marissa had a terrible support system. Now, what I mean by that is that I think her parents absolutely suck. Julie and I forgot her dad's name, Jimmy. They are terrible parents, especially Julie. All Julie cares about is just marrying somebody with a lot of money. She don't care about her kids, and she never put them first. It's always about what she wants and what she needs. And Jimmy too, he never puts his kids first. All he cares about is just screwing up and making the same mistakes and not learning from them and then expecting second chances. Now, I feel like the only people that she could actually count on was her friends, and I really feel like that's the reason why they kept giving her chance after chance, because her parents have already given up on her. Think about that. The two people who are supposed to love you and never judge you and be there for you whenever you need them gave up on her mentally. So she only had Ryan, Summer, and Zep to depend on for everything. That's why I love so much about her and Ryan's relationship. It felt like a really adult relationship because they both were kind of having the same problems with not really seeing their full potential and kind of always like leaning on the things that make them a little bit not good. Like, Ryan really relied a lot on his impulsiveness and his anger rather than trying to control it, which is what I really loved a lot in season 3 with the storyline and him trying to control his anger and not trying to always involve himself in other people's situations, because that's just not his. It's not. You can't save everybody. You can't. Some people got to figure it out for themselves, and that's just how it is. This isn't about Ryan. Season 2, she had her moment. She decided to date Alex out of fucking thin air to make her mom upset, but that's pretty much it. That's really the only real self-destructive thing she did. And she purposely tried. I guess she purposely tried to get Lindsay drunk. I don't know if she purposely tried to do that, but I I was not upset on what Ryan said. I understand that being with Marissa, he did have to deal with a lot of her bullshit. I understand that he did have to deal with a lot of things. And some people could say that he was a babysitter, I guess, in a relationship, which I kind of hate that term. I don't want the relationship to be as organized or described as a babysitter, because I feel like the relationship was so much more than Ryan just being her babysitter. Always constantly got to make sure that she's doing the right thing. I feel like Ryan was something that Marissa had to hang on to, because Ryan was the only person who believed in her, who wanted to see her do good and not always go down this self-destructive path. And I kind of really love the fact that they were able to lean on each other to not to make those repetitive mistakes, to not go down that dark rabbit hole. But I feel like in season 2 she didn't really do much. Season 3, oh my god, where the fuck do I begin? They screwed everything up with Marissa with the whole Johnny storyline. I absolutely hate the storyline with Johnny. I thought it was so fucking ridiculous and so stupid. I think Marissa going to a different school was just fucking dumb in itself. I hate season 3. I think season 3 is the most ridiculous, inconsistent, terrible character development. It's just everything. Like how this season sucks. It sucks. There's not one episode that I actually can sit down and watch and enjoy without trying to throw my TV. I feel like they screwed everything Marissa about having this entire Johnny storyline. I feel like this should have been a season where we could have had seen Marissa, like they said, like they don't even address her situation with Trey until a couple episodes after. Like he sexually assaulted her. This doesn't even impact her character that much at all. Like she doesn't get no real help. Like she doesn't go to therapy. She doesn't really talk to nobody about it. Like this is really so annoying, like, with her character. Like this is just so annoying. I don't understand why they just couldn't have her get some real help, like have her talk to somebody. Like this is just annoying. And then with that Johnny storyline, he falls off a cliff and now she's in a depressive state. So now it's time for this self-destructive path. She gets involved with Bochick, or whatever the hell his name is. The just a terrible character. I don't even know why he exists in the show. She goes on this self-destructive path for him by drinking, having a lot of being more sexually, which is not. I don't care about her being more sexually, but it's something different from her character in the past. She hasn't really been that like over hypersexual character, having sex all the time. That's not really her. Like having sex all the time, partying, doing cocaine, doing a lot of heavy drugs that she never did before. And then it takes her to, after Bocheck steals money out of Taylor's purse, for her to realize that she needs to change. She needs to stop dating people who are just not even dating people. She needs to stop surrounding herself with people who do stupid shit. And I feel like her relationship with Bocheck was just really the downfall of her character. And then I really love that she, like, this is another thing too I feel like is really consistent. Like another thing, you have her just break up with Bochick, and she doesn't really acknowledge her behavior that she did with him, like distancing from her friends, dogging out her friends, acting weird around her friends. Like she doesn't really acknowledge her behavior right on the spot. She acknowledges it after everything, which I feel like is just very inconsistent for any character. I feel like if you do something wrong, you need to acknowledge it right then and now. Don't acknowledge it 3 episodes later when they probably forgotten about it anyway as a character. Like I really love the moment that her and Ryan had when she said she was sorry for all the craziness, because I feel like if anyone deserves an apology, it is Ryan. Like she did put him through a lot in the first season. Like, she did put him through a lot. Like, he really had to be her guardian angel, constantly watching over her. And it was just a lot. And then the stupidest thing ever happened in the show. Marissa dies. It is easily one of the worst character sacrifices, I guess. One of the worst character endings I've ever seen in a show. I really feel like Marissa did not deserve to die. I feel like that did nothing for the show. When season 4 opened up, her death was instantly forgotten after the very first episode. Like, everyone grieved over her in one episode, and it was just it. And it really bothered me, the fact that someone like Ryan, her mom, Summer, like, none of them really grieved over her at all in the entire season. Like, she's just like, no one talks about her anymore. Like, it's the first episode and then it's done. Like, her and Ryan, their final scene together was so beautiful. The acting in that scene between Misha and Ben was just, that was real. And the fact that Marissa went out like that was kind of devastating, because I feel like there was so much more they could have done for her character. I feel like I would have had loved to see something with her actually getting her act together, and just, I feel like college would have been a really good step for her to grow up and be more mature and learn from her mistakes, and just learning that you can't keep doing the same repetitive shit all your life and keep expecting people to be there for you. You need to learn your right from wrongs and just learn how to make right decisions, because she was a character that was incapable of making good decisions. She was just not capable of it. And I really feel like the ending of season 3 and going on to season 4 would have been a new chapter, a new path in her life. I would have loved to see what she would have gone to college to do, how she would have came out of college. I just would have loved to see that from her, to see if her and Ryan would have ended up together and just left all that immature, childish shit in the past with the drama. We don't get that at all with Marissa. She just dies in a very unjustifiable way with no real explanation as to why this happened. And I feel like it sucks for the show. I feel like the day that her character died is the same day the show took a deep dive into the pool. So, if you're asking me why I think Marissa deserved a happy ending, it's because the writers had her go through a very self-destructive path through all 3 seasons, and she deserved a happy ending. She deserved to have a turnaround. She deserved to have a new leaf. I see other characters who were worse, who were far more worse than Marissa, and they get redemption arcs and they get second chances, but she didn't get that. Marissa just had to die, and that sucks. I feel like she deserved a second chance to turn a new leaf, and the writers did not give her a chance to do that. She just died. So that's my opinion on Marissa and her character, and how it needs to. It didn't have to go out like that for Marissa. It sucks. Even after all these years, it sucks. Her death is sad. It's really fucked up that it ended that way. The next character that I'm thinking that I might do is Jenny. I think I already did a video about this already with Jenny, but I'm planning on going more in depth with this, kind of like how I did with Marissa, just talking about her character and where the writers messed up and how I would have had love for her to change. So please look out for that video, and plenty more other characters coming soon.